Welcome to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. The radical Democratic Party has gone off the rails, and almost all of the Democratic members of Congress have lost it. They are Looney Tunes. But a breath of fresh air from an unexpected source. That's right, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Why is he the most sane and reasonable Democrat out there? It's hard to say. But he had strong words for his fellow members of the Democratic Party. He chewed them a new one. He said that they need to get their blank together. And I think he couldn't be more right. But he recently appeared on television and he really went off and had a lot of great things to say that hopefully fellow members of the Democratic Party listen to. But before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Well, Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman said Sunday on CNN's State of the Union that New York City can embrace socialism if it wants to elect DSA nominee Zohran Mamdani for mayor, but urged fellow Democrats to, quote, stop hurting, unquote, the very people they fight for. And let's take a listen to what he had to say.
How do you see it? Who do you blame for this?
Well, I mean, for me, fundamentally, I'm deeply distressing to know that 42 million Americans are going to lose their SNAP benefits. And now that's one of the big reasons why I refuse to shutting our government down. And again, I feel like the Democrats really need to own the shutdown. I mean, we're shutting it down. I know why they claim, because they want to address the tax credits, and I fully support that. I voted for all of their RCRs, every single time. And I refuse to put 42 million Americans in the kinds of food insecurity. Now, this is all is solved by just reopen our government and the people are now paid. Now, if we are the party that are fighting for working people. Now, as far as I'm aware, every single union that's involved in this is demanding to us to reopen that. That's the side that I'm in through this. And now the 4 airlines are now saying we really have to stop this right now. And why do we really want to make flying less safe by forcing this times of situation and making things that much stressed? So it's not something I support of, and I don't want to be involved. And now we can find a way forward. We need to find a way forward. And I do believe we can achieve these kinds of tax credits. And this is something I support, but it's the wrong tactic. It was wrong when the Republicans did it. It's wrong now that we seem to be driving it.
Well, I really liked what he said there. He said socialism is not the future of my party. And if that's going to be their future, that's really up to New York City to decide those things. You know, we all know how socialism works out. Ask anybody that lived under those kinds of systems all across the globe, unquote. Well, here, John Fetterman, for being able to read history, comprehend it, and give us the fair conclusion of it, because personally, I've studied socialism in depth. I studied it in grad school. I lived in Russia and worked as a journalist. It is a failed ideology. It causes people to be impoverished and dependent on the government. That is what the Democratic Party wants. They don't care about Americans. They care about power. That's the bottom line. So thank you, John Fetterman, for speaking up about this. Socialism needs to be back in the American mainstream of discussion, because that is what the Democratic Party stands for. It has been infiltrated and taken over by the Democratic Socialists of America. Just look at AOC and look at others like Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib, Jasmine Crockett. They're all socialists, whether they admit it in public or not. And weigh in with your thoughts. What do you think about John Fetterman? What do you think about socialism in the Democratic Party? We're on the brink of a major disaster in New York City. Let's hope on Tuesday that New Yorkers come to their senses and they reject this failed ideology, because it will only lead to disaster. That is fair warning. And we always appreciate hearing from you at Explain America.